What's up, Instagram? This is week 5 of our series on InBeatWin. We have a we have a special guest today. This person is an exceptional communicator. He's an exceptional thinker. Um, he's an exceptional soccer player. But before he comes in, just a quick review on what InBeatWin is and what is this collection that we're sending as people start to jump on. Uh, it's just the idea of we if you are in beat, you can win one day at a time. And we continue to tell the story of if you go to the emergency room for whether it's a mild injury or a severe injury, or just you go to the doctor for a checkup, the one thing that they have to do is check your pulse. And so when they're checking your pulse, they're looking for the rhythm of your beat, of your heartbeat. And this beat signifies the level of health of your heart. And if the beat is really off, then your heart is at risk. And sometimes the only way to get the heart back into beat is by electrifying it. And so the doctors need to come and electrify you back into rhythm. And so we think about how many times has life electrified us back into rhythm. Sometimes whether we lose a loved one, whether we get cut from a team, we get an injury, and we've been taking care of ourselves for so long. And so these moments in which we get electrified, and for some reason we start to appreciate some of the smaller details in life, and we start, if you're off the field for whatever reason, you start to appreciate every single day's training session. And so sometimes when we're always on the field, we forget the beauty of going in to practice, and we can't wait to finish practice to get home and do whatever, whether talk to your girl, play video games, do whatever it is, and we forget to be in beat throughout that practice. And then that may cause you to lack in your performance, and then now you're in the bench, and then now when you're off beat, everything starts to unsettle. And so the idea of being in beat throughout your day, and remembering that as long as there's beat inside of you, the story continues. And so if there's beat inside of you, doesn't matter how bad your practice was, the next day you have a chance to perform again. And so today we're gonna have Luke Schwalik, and he is gonna talk to us a little bit about who he is, and we're gonna navigate a new layer of in between, because this word in between actually came out of the word in between, the word in between, so in the middle of something. And so by the questions and by the end of the conversation, hopefully we give a little bit more of an understanding of another layer of what in between means. So we're gonna get Luke right into this. You guys all so what's up, Landon? We have Luke's brother.
Hi, Andres.
Oh my goodness, here is Luke the legend. What are you wearing today? Is it a jersey?
USA.
USA, let's go. Interesting. Did you see Pulisic?
Oh, his assist. Yeah, his assist.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yes, that was brilliant. That was perfect.
No, yeah, he's so good. I was talking to Owen, and he said that he thought that he was on the bench because he had a yellow card. So
Yeah.
maybe that makes a little bit more sense. But I think every time he's on the field, he's so dangerous, no matter who he's playing against.
Yeah, because it makes more sense that could be why he wasn't playing. Because I remember when he got that assist, I just looked at my dad and I was like, why didn't he start? Like, he did it last leg. Why isn't he starting? And yeah, I mean, he is playing great right now.
He is. Who do you have? So I guess are you a fully committed Chelsea fan now?
I am.
You are.
Yeah, I'm hopping on the train officially.
Goodness.
So, yep. This saying it in public.
You're gonna say it in public that you're a Chelsea. Is this like until Pulisic leaves, or
no?
You're signing.
Signing.
Oh my goodness. So now we have you, Nihal,
Nihal.
Owen. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I can deal with that. But anyways, Luke, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm always look forward. Your brother saying I like Chelsea, but I have to admit Man City over Chelsea.
Me and my brother had an argument about this, and I have to say I think Chelsea's better. I think, and honestly, this is gonna be like a great the Champions League final is gonna be a great game. Like I'm excited because if Chelsea wins, like you're not gonna forget about it. I'm just now.
Do you know they play this weekend?
Yeah, so it's like a preview.
Yeah, it's a preview. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about the final, but we will go on and not talk about InBeatWin. So let's just go right into our conversation. So I was telling everybody, by everybody I mean like the 5,000 followers that are watching right now. I was telling them that there's another layer of in between that we haven't fully discussed. We've talked about the beat inside of us, and that sometimes we forget that even in our worst days, if you go to bed and there's beat inside of you, the story continues. But there's another part of in between, and that part is that we always live in what we call the in between, not the in beat win, but in between. And we talked about in the curriculum that the best moments are the in betweens. And when you think about anything from a soccer game, from the beginning or to the end, even when you're lifting the title, it's that in between from the minute 1 to the minute 90 that you are actually living out your passion. We talked about if you go on a date and it's the moment that you're with your date that is most exciting, not when you gotta say bye. You talked about when you're eating something that you love. I think you said a burger. Was that what you said?
A burger, a fries, and a Coca-Cola, man. Like I was in Maine. And I forget the place, but I was with my dad and my sister. And one of the best meals I've had, and I remember this feeling when I was having it. It was so good, but I didn't think about the in-between, and by the time I was done, I was like, man, like, I was disappointed.
Yeah. And so that's true to all lives. And so I feel that nobody remembers the moment that they came to this world. I don't think you remember what your doctor looked like. I don't remember what the doctor looked like for me. And we won't know what happens after we go away. And so everything is in between. And so that's part of the theme of also of this hoodie, of being able to identify that the in between is what it's all about. So we're going to start with a simple question. Lucas is in like AU. What does that mean? Do you know?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's referring to my TikTok. He meant to say Luke AU.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can tell us about that. But okay, the first question, it's not even a question. It's just, Luke, can you just go on and explain who is Luke?
Yes, yeah, gladly. So obviously my name is Luke and I'm from Massachusetts. I have a huge passion for soccer and I play on NEFC, ECNL. I consider myself a hardworking and really competitive person. And I don't know, I'm going to say it again. I'm a Chelsea fan. And
As of today.
No, it's been building up.
It's been building up.
Yeah, today officially, I'm a Chelsea fan. So in a brief summary, I guess that's who I am.
That's who you are today? Okay. So I think I heard a lot about who you are as a soccer player. Is Luke anything else? Are you a brother? Are you a son? Are you a student? What do you like? What do you hate? What are all these things? I want more today.
Yeah. So I'm a brother. I have a sister and a brother.
Okay. Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm young.
You're the youngest. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What am I?
You're a student?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite subject?
I would say Spanish. I love Spanish.
Okay. Let's see. What else can we find out about Luke? What's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal. Every time I go to a restaurant, you know this. I mean, you've only went out to eat with me about twice, but every time I get a burger and fries.
That's fair. I don't know how healthy that is,
No, actually, I take it back. Not always a burger and fries, but usually a burger and either side of pineapple, fruit, mashed potatoes, etc.
Okay, okay, all right. And what does Luke hate? What's
What?
one thing that you hate? For example, let's see, what something that I hate.
Oh, I know, I know.
Oh, you got something? Okay, go ahead. You know
Man,
what I hate, or you know what you hate?
I hate Man City. No, I'm just kidding. But what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna. I mean, I thought you had an answer for my question. What do you hate? What I hate? I hate when my alarm goes off before I wake up. I normally wake up right before it. If I don't, then it almost throws my morning completely. But it could be something as little as that, or I really hate when players show up late to practice.
Oh yeah, I know that.
You know that. So what is something that just Luke hates?
Hmm. I would say something very minor. I don't like running. I really dislike running. Like I that doesn't stop me from
Uh-huh.
running, getting in shape, and doing sprints. But because I mean that's important,
Yep.
like as a soccer player. But I don't enjoy it. Like there's just something about it. I'm not quite sure what it is, but in playing,
Is it boring? Is it just painful? Is it
yeah, it gets. I hate the feeling of being out of breath. I would say.
okay? I feel that. I feel you. Yeah. Honestly, since I stopped playing, it's really hard. I have to like get a really good playlist or a good podcast because if not, then I'm just not gonna find myself out there, um, pushing myself hard. All right. So your brother, you're the youngest. You
Yep.
love soccer. You're passionate for soccer. You're a Chelsea fan. You're a student. Your favorite subject is Spanish.
Mhm.
What else did we learn today? Your favorite meal is burger and fries,
Yep.
right?
And
You did I say you hate running? You hate running. What's something you like outside of soccer?
um, I really enjoy relaxing. I really enjoy relaxing.
Okay. How do you relax? What do you do when you
I'll
relax?
just I'll just get comfortable either on my couch or my bed and just go on my phone or watch some TV.
Okay. What do you watch?
Well, right now I'm watching a show called Brain Games. It's just like this series that kind of like goes over how your brain works,
Huh.
and it has a bunch of like um brain games basically.
Is that on Netflix or
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Brain Game. Okay, I'm gonna take a note of that because is it interesting? Like, does it actually?
Yeah.
You
No,
understand?
definitely.
Do you watch it by yourself or with that?
By myself.
By yourself. Cool. So those are a few good things to know about Luke, and so I think one of the reasons for this question is that is who Luke is up until today, and so when we think about InBeatWin, uh, the idea that something has to start and something probably is coming in the future. It's whatever you are today, that's where we're starting. So how old are you, Luke?
I'm 13.
You're 13. All right. So you're 13-year-old. You love Spanish. You love soccer. There's certain type of food that you like. There's a show that you like. You have mom. You have dad. All these are the facts, right?
Yep.
That create who Luke is today. And so from there, now that we know a little bit about Luke, let's navigate what are some of Luke's dreams in the future.
Yeah. So um a dream of mine is, I've said before, a dream of mine is to become a professional soccer player and to live out soccer as a profession and specifically perhaps play for the national team. I would love to represent my country in a way like that.
Mm.
And another dream of mine would be to have a family. I want to have a family one day.
You want to have a family?
Yeah.
And would you like your kids to play soccer? What if they just hate soccer?
It doesn't matter to me as long as they're happy.
As long as they're happy, that's good. Okay. And so when did you decide that you wanted to be a professional player, soccer player?
When I decide, I'm not really sure. I mean, I just remember uh beginning to play soccer and just loving it so much when I was like about 4 or 5, and my dad would always ask me like, "Do you want to do soccer again?" I would always say yes, and it just like here I am now continuing to play it, and I just feel like when I was younger I just had so much fun, but now I'm taking it more seriously and I'm still really enjoying it, and I wouldn't really put like a time when I wanted to become a professional soccer player. I would just say in the past few years.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, and I think in some when you enjoy something so much, and on top of that, you're good at it.
Yeah.
There, a relationship starts to happen. You say that you enjoy the game really much, but has there been times in which you don't enjoy it, or you've had difficult times with the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you say this all the time. You're either having fun or you're either having fun or getting better, and sometimes when you're getting better, you're not having fun. And like like I was saying, like I don't like to run, yet I still do it, and it makes me a better player. And like dealing with adversity is always really tough, and it's like part of sports, part of life, and at times it's just not enjoyable. But
Can you give me an example?
an example, sure. So let me think.
It could be maybe from an experience either at training with where we have been
Oh yeah.
together. Maybe I think I remember you got hurt at one point last when we were training with FC Stars.
I don't really remember you saying. However, sometimes I just don't have like a practice. I have like a really off practice.
Okay.
I have a really off practice, and sorry, I'm getting a text. I have a really off practice, and sometimes I'm just um like I forget that like I'm good at this sport, and
Oh,
like my mind is wired to be so negative,
yeah.
and it's like sometimes I just have like I have bad thoughts when I
Yeah.
come home from a bad training, and it's like as petty as it seems, like sometimes it's hard to like go to sleep that night because
Mm,
like I'm really hard on myself.
yeah. And I think it's your competitive nature. And I think you have seen how good Luke is. And you hold yourself to a certain standard. And when you perform under that, it's tough to continue until the next time that you get to be on the field. I
Yeah,
know you hate when I stop the sessions and you do a bad rep, and you don't want to leave the field on a bad rep.
yeah,
But sometimes you should leave the field with a bad rep, with a bad repetition, because it just keeps you going. And the next time that I step on this field, it means I can still be better. And it's interesting that so many times we identify ourselves by those bad sessions. And for some reason, when we have an exceptional session, yes, we're happy, but I don't know that you can't sleep at night, you know? It doesn't bother us as much. And so I think it's really tough for athletes to be able to balance that. And I really always try to encourage you guys to remember your best rep in the session, because you guys
yeah,
are so talented. If you remember that one instead of the bad ones, you know that you are able to do whatever it was that we were looking to execute. Not to forget about the bad ones, but if you leave with the bad ones, you're defining yourself by any other variable of the game, and forget about the actual fact that at one point in the session you did it, right? And if you did it once, then you can do it again, right?
and I feel like my dad tells me this all the time. It's really important for athletes to keep it in your memory bank when you have like an exceptional practice. So when you're feeling off one day, like when you don't feel like you performed well in a game, when you don't feel you performed well in a practice, it's important to remember that like, oh, like 2 weeks ago I had like the best practice of my life and I was unstoppable. So you remember that that one bad practice does not define you.
I agree. I agree, and I think that's such good advice because imagine even being Pulisic. Am I saying it right? Blackie always corrects me. How do you say it?
I say Pulisic.
Pulisic. Okay, imagine him going from starting against Real Madrid to maybe being on the bench, and if maybe the coach doesn't communicate why, he has to in his head make sure that once he gets the opportunity, he comes in and performs. And this past week he did it really well. He came in. I don't remember what time, but knowing that perhaps he should be starting, he came in and performed. And it's something that also Marco has had to deal with at these in this stage where he has to find a way to feel engaged and remember how good he really is because he might get 5 minutes and you are supposed to go in there and enjoy yourself because when I ask you about what is your dream and your dream is to become a professional, it's very important that in your path to achieving that dream you don't forget that it's because you enjoy. Because you go back to that question that your dad said, what do you want to do? And you pick soccer, and you said here it's because I enjoy the most, and it's because I want to be a professional. So that first time that you answered it, it was because it's what I enjoy. And so remembering that in moments in which you don't enjoy it kind of makes you sit back and like, okay, this soccer is not the end of the world, and it's something that started from joy. So from that perspective of what your dreams are, I wanted us to navigate, or if you can describe to us, what are potential obstacles that can get in the way of your dreams?
Yeah, so I have a couple. So I would say one is injuries, and I can elaborate on all this. So one, I would say injuries.
Okay.
Two, not taking good care of my body, so eating right, etc. Um, and not working hard enough. And I'm not just talking about working hard in practice. Like it's really important what you do off the field, with your team and on the field by yourself. Because a lot of players just show up to practice and that's that for the week. But if they're trying to take their game to the next level, it's not about just practicing with your team. It's about practicing on your own and how you treat yourself off the field.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And so, okay, let's go one by one. So you said
Injuries.
injuries, you said taking care of your body with food and sleep and all this stuff. And then the last one?
Like not working hard enough, so just working.
Not working hard enough. Those are good. And so you being able to identify those, I think helps you anticipate these moments. Can you give us a moment in which perhaps you weren't taking good care of your body?
Yeah, sure. Riverhawks for life. Wait, I don't even.
Who is that? Do you know?
I'm not actually sure. Yeah.
You have to drop your name because I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, give us an example of maybe when you didn't take good care of your body.
Yeah. So something that in the past few years I haven't done well at all is not drinking enough water.
Okay.
And it's just something as simple as that. Like sometimes it's something I fail to do is just drink enough water. And lately I've been doing really well, but as we talked about, water improves your energy levels, your mental clarity, your movement, and probably many other things.
Yeah.
And just so I mean a lot of times previously I have not drinking enough water per day, and I didn't realize how significant it was.
And that's such a good example because can you remind us of what are a couple of the things that water does for you?
Yeah. So water improves your mental clarity, it improves your energy levels, it improves your movement, and that's all I can think of. Is there one more?
No, that's good. That's good. There's a couple more. And so I think this dream of becoming a professional makes us be more cautious of the details that it takes to get there. And in your path to achieve this, you start, for example, now you're drinking more water. But I don't know that you realize that drinking more water is also giving you a healthier lifestyle. And now you start to perform better in Spanish class, and then you start to be, when you're hanging out with your brother or your sister, you are in a better state of mind, and you may not get as angry, because I know it can be tough to be a sibling. You can process things a bit better when when you're with your parents. You're able to also be in the moment with a lot more clarity. And so sometimes we feel that we're only chasing this dream, that is the soccer player, but all these details that can make this dream happen, when you look at the obstacles, those are the same obstacles that can get in the way from you being able to check off the best version of Luke in all the other things that we talked about. So if Luke is a son, if Luke is a student, if Luke is a soccer player, if Luke is, what else is Luke? What else are you, Luke?
Wait, so you said student?
If Luke is a Chelsea fan,
Yeah.
if Luke, so all of the things that Luke. Oh, and you said you wanted to have a family, and whenever you're getting ready to be healthier for whenever you create your own family, and so I think what we want to get at today is we were able to see Luke, who he is today at 13 years old, and we were able to look at what Luke wants to be when maybe he's 30. And it doesn't end at 30, but if we just start with that, the obstacles come in the in between. In the in between of that, if Luke doesn't hydrate well, if Luke doesn't sleep well, if Luke doesn't eat well, if Luke doesn't take care of his body or takes care of his injuries, because you will get injured eventually, if Luke doesn't work hard enough, all of these things are part of the in between that will turn whatever we are today into what you may want to become later. And so empowering that in between is what will make the difference for you. And so can you, if you had one advice to give a soccer player of your age, actually, no, to any soccer player, what would be that one advice that you would give them?
Wow, that is a great question. I would say one piece of advice. I would say be ready. Be ready for the worst. I mean, being
Okay.
being an athlete is so difficult physically, but not just physically, mentally. And it's not just about like how you move on the field, but it's like how you deal with things. And if you think that being a soccer player, being an athlete is gonna be easy for you mentally, like you're wrong. Like you're gonna go through injuries, you're gonna go through adversity. There's gonna be so many small mental things that could demotivate you, and it's important to expect that to happen, so when it comes, you're not like shocked and you're like, I don't know what to do. So I think it's important to recognize that injuries will come, so like just be ready. Like it's sports, like you're gonna get injured, and sometimes you're not gonna be able to play all the games. So expecting the worst is really important, as not just a soccer player but an athlete.
That's so good. I have nothing to add to that. Being able to expect these obstacles, because they're only going to make you grow, right? You're going to be able to take care of your body better if it's an injury. If you're in the bench, you're just going to have to find what it is that you're missing and find a way to implement it. And we will all be in the bench, and we will all lose games, and we will all get injured, and we will all have days when we feel like, yo, I am so bad. I should have scored. The game was my fault. And so if we can anticipate those, I think you're in a good path to be able to fight these battles and be able to go from who you are today to who you want to become, and make this in between as enjoyable as possible, because it starts with joy and it has to end with joy. And I think the last thing I will say is, whenever you go to bed, Luke, and you feel like you've had a difficult day, if there's beat inside of you, man, you go to sleep and you know that you still got a story to tell the next day, no matter what. And even on your best days, because sometimes it's tougher to let go of the best days because you're in the nostalgia, right? And to remember, there's beat in me, humble myself, and I gotta show up tomorrow again, because the dream doesn't end until Luke ends, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't end until there's no beat.
I'm done with that. We're going to finish with that. It doesn't end until there is no beat. Luke, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. I might be able to see your game this weekend. I'm not sure. If not, then we will talk soon. Say hello to
Yep.
the family, and it was great to hear your answers, man.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye, Andres.